Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This presentation is being recorded. The link will be posted on NACU TV within a few days. During this webinar, you are welcome to submit a question at any time. Please use the chat window feature. Our speakers will take questions at the end. Please look at your name on the screen to make sure your first and last name are displayed. To change your screen name, hover over the three dots above the photo, then select Rename in the drop-down. Thank you. We will begin momentarily. Thank you for joining us today for mobile ordering. My name is Dawn Thomas. I'm the Executive Director of NACU. Joining me today are Janet Rauhe and Richard Wynn. Janet is from Elon University and Richard Wynn is from Georgia Southern University. It's nice to have you here today, Janet and Richard. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. So a little bit about Georgia Southern University. We have three campuses: Statesboro, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and Hinesville, Georgia. We have a total enrollment of roughly about 27,000. 4,000 of those students are living currently on campus. We do have live classes and some hybrid classes. We consolidated with Savannah and Hinesville in 2017. That was Armstrong State University, and there are now our campuses in Savannah and Hinesville. I have two full-time card offices that report to me, one in Statesboro and the other in Savannah. The big difference between the two of them is the Savannah card office also supports parking services, which makes it a bit of a challenge. Our dining is self-op, which I think is kind of important when we try and add applications like this. So to start off with, why mobile-based ordering? Well, you can have almost unlimited registers because each phone is a register. The downside of this is that you can easily overwhelm production capacity. From the customer standpoint, they get a lot of satisfaction out of it. Everybody likes to use their cell phone. They're getting instant feedback when they're placing orders. It displays wait times. So if somebody wants to go to Chick-fil-A and they see it's a 20-minute wait, they may see that Gus Mart is only a 5-minute wait. That fits their needs more, so it can help them to make decisions that way. You can take time with your orders. It's not like you're standing in front of a cashier with a line of people behind you and you're rushing to get through with what you want. So you can look through the menu and make more educated decisions on what changes you may want to make to a particular order. It can also be a line buster because, again, every handset tends to be a register. You don't have just that one register that's sitting there. You can eliminate waiting in a location, and that's as long as you throttle the orders properly. If you don't throttle orders properly, your line for picking up mobile orders can be as long as the lines happen to be at the register. So throttling of orders is quite an important part of the process. So we have been doing mobile ordering since 2015. We installed Topingo, if some of you are familiar with that, in 2015, and it was successful. To give you an idea of how well it worked for us, in 2018, for fall only, we had almost 34,000 orders. Unique registrations, or people who downloaded that app, were over 3,400. And unique buyers were 5,900. So people would download the app, and we could see from the 5,900 that they were using it from prior years. For the fiscal year of 2018, we had over 70,000 orders and $500,000 in sales. That's good for our size university. For fiscal year of 2017, our order count was 62,000, and that was a trend that we saw from 2015, 16, 17, and 18. We saw the orders go up and up and up. Unfortunately, with Topingo, we had some disruptions that were going on with that. When we first installed Topingo, we didn't have an inventory management system, but we felt we needed to bring that on. And when we did, we had no way to get that inventory data out of Topingo and into our inventory management system. So we couldn't have accurate information on what was happening at our retail locations. We had some reporting issues. What happened was our end of month reports would not match our end of day reports. And these were caused by refunds. So what would happen is we would have to go back to our growth manager, who would have to investigate when all of these refunds were done, and he would have to document them. We would then have to get that to accounting, and accounting would have to update the daily reports at the bursar's office. It sometimes took weeks in order to resolve these problems. And then our contract was expiring with Topingo on June 30th in 2019. So we determined if we were going to make a change, this would be the time to do it. So why Transact mobile ordering? Well, one of the great reasons was that it was integrated with QuadPoint, and QuadPoint we had been using for quite some time already. We use reports extensively. Our accounting department was very happy with them. It was very easy to schedule them. It was very easy to run ad hoc reports. With Topingo, we had a third-party company, so we were paying campus card royalties to Topingo. Topingo was paying credit and debit minus royalties to Georgia Southern and the credit card fees. So it was kind of cumbersome way to do payments back and forth. As far as accounting was concerned, it resolved the reconciliation problem we had, because you would never change an end of day report. Any refunds that were done would have been done by a manager, and they would have occurred on the day the refund happened, not on the day that the original order happened, which was the problem. And then our inventory management system, eTech, we had contracted with Transact in order to write some software for us that would provide a flat file. And that flat file, was imported into eTech on a daily basis, which kept our inventory management up to date. So in order to prepare for this, pretty standard stuff. We had a project kickoff meeting. We made sure we had all the stakeholders we needed there, scheduling the resource meetings, setting timelines. We picked the date of July 1st, 2019 to go live with Transact Mobile. One, it was the day after our contract had expired with Topingo. And the other is that was the beginning of our fiscal year. It's also a slow time for universities. Like all of you, our universities don't close at all anymore. We just have some slower times than we have at others. So this was a perfect time for us to do kind of a soft opening with this particular application. We did have technical resources there, and of course there were the usual firewall configurations. There were some issues with different types of technical services that needed to be fixed, and the IT department identified those and fixed them. We had to determine how many servers we needed to stand up, and we decided we needed 3 VMs for order routing. And then we had to determine which locations we were going to install these in. We did pick only the Statesboro campus at that time, because Armstrong was still kind of in a state of flux, because we were bringing up different dining locations for quite some time. And then the other thing that was really essential for this is we were already using QuadPoint. So one of the challenges that we ran into before we got into our soft opening was that Chick-fil-A had a requirement that you needed to check in if you placed an order with mobile, you needed to check in before that order could be expedited. And that feature wasn't part of Transact mobile ordering at the time. We did talk to them, tell them we still wanted to move forward. We came up with a workaround, but John Diaz from Transact guaranteed us that we would have the check-in module available for Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was satisfied for that, and Transact did deliver the check-in module by the beginning of August, which is what they wanted. So one of the big concerns that I had when we were moving from Topingo to Transact mobile ordering is how loyal are people going to be to an application? I mean, we know people are very loyal to the type of phones they use. Are they going to be very loyal to the type of apps they use? So I talked to the marketing department and expressed my concerns to them. And one of the first things they came up with was a name, and that's Gotta Go. And Gotta is Georgia Southern speak. The beloved Irk Russell, our football coach, came up with this term Gotta, and it stands for get after their asses. And that's something that is said at every game, and you'll probably see it now on all sorts of t-shirts that are going around. So Gotta Go was definitely tying it back to Georgia Southern University. So we did email blasts, Twitter, Instagram, sidewalk stickers, counter stickers, window stickers. Here are the marketing materials that came up with, marketing came up with. They worked out very well for us, but I guess the proof is going to be, did it really work? Were people really willing to change the app that they used? So I went back and I looked at the Topingo sales data from a year prior to when we installed Transact Mobile Ordering. And the top line up there, it was roughly $133,000 was the total merchant sales for that time period. Well, what was going to happen in the following year? Well, this is from the Transact Mobile Ordering dashboard. And we can see for the same time frame that we had almost $120,000 in sales. So I was relieved to find out that people weren't loyal to their app. What they were loyal to was doing mobile ordering. And considering that it was only 3 months that we brought that up, and we already had 4,700 people had installed the application, that was good news to me. In 30 days prior to running this, we had over 1,000 people who downloaded the application. So I was pretty excited to see that they were accepting this. And while there's a lot of different information that's on this dashboard here, one of the things that seems to be tried and true at every university that I talk to is iOS dominates Android. You can see that at the bottom of the screen there, with 87% versus less than 13% for Android users. This is another snapshot of one of the dashboard screens that the executive director of dining loves to see, because he can get a very, very good snapshot of what's happening on a daily basis for the mobile ordering process. This gives us an idea of how the ordering went from when we installed Transact Mobile Ordering through the middle of October when we first did it. And as you can see, there were very few orders to start with. That soft opening was great to get our retail locations used to using this new application. And then you can see the day the kids came back to school, where we started at, we peaked at about 300 orders. And then as people became more and more aware of it, we went back to pretty much the normal amount of orders we would see, which is roughly between 500 and 600 orders a day. So my concerns were alleviated, because yes, they did start to use it. They're more interested in mobile than they are interested in what app they're using. So the result of all this for us is that we cut costs, because while with our previous mobile ordering application, we were paying a percentage of each sale that went out, and with Transact, it was a fixed cost, and that was just rolled into our yearly transaction fees. It resolved the reporting issues instantly, made our accounting department happy. It resolved our e-tech issues, our inventory management system issues, because that when you install Transact Mobile, you basically are creating another register. And the mobile is just the register that sits there. So when you're reporting on that particular venue, you're reporting on the mobile register as well. So nothing really had to change with reporting that was there. The retail managers absolutely loved it. They had more control over it. They could handle their customers better, because instead of trying to send somebody to a third party because they weren't happy with an order that they placed, that retail manager could take it right there. From the data that I just provided, we see that the students and staff absolutely accepted it. And from an administrative point of view, we were really happy to have total control of our program. So what's next? Well, delivery is one of the things that is available. There's support for predetermined locations in Transact Mobile Ordering right now. It's not something we've taken advantage of, but we're taking a hard look at that. There's push notifications that you can use to update your students, faculty, and staff. There's a loyalty application that I keep getting asked about, but it seems that we just don't have the time to get that up and running. And then there's some nice features that have been added due to COVID, which is capacity management. So you can actually schedule move-in to your residence halls, or you can do dining reservations, table reservations through this. So some really nice features that they keep adding to Transact Mobile. Now, mobile ordering during COVID. Well, we did open new locations on the Savannah campus because we felt that this was going to help help our students be more socially distanced. We also opened a food trailer in Statesboro. So we closed our main dining hall late at night. We opened the food trailer so that students could use that, and they could order food through Transact Mobile with that, and that's been successful. All of our dining halls have moved to self-serve, from a self-serve buffet to attended. While you can still eat in our dining halls, you have to be socially distanced, and everybody is given a box to go, and most people do take advantage of to going. I anticipated that mobile ordering would provide a better and safer solution for busy retail locations. So I had been expecting that we were going to see better numbers. So the pre-COVID sales for mobile ordering, on this time frame, I have about $96,000. For the same time frame this year, it has dropped over 50%. It was pretty shocking to me that we saw it go down this much. I was trying to figure out what happened. I mean, all 3 campuses are open. We have in-person classes. Our enrollment is up a little bit. We have dining plan sales are down slightly, but it's not very much. Now, our stored value deposits went down by about 25%. So that could be part of the reason why we saw that. But our retail sales for all of our locations went down by almost 50%. It was pretty shocking. Our dining halls were experiencing like traffic. So in 2019, when I run the reports on that, I see that we would have about 35,000 people come into our dining halls on a weekly basis. When I look at the same time weekly now, when I look at it in 2020, I see there's less than 20,000. Now, while we've modified our dining plans slightly, they've actually gotten cheaper. There are 75,000 meals that are available a week, and only 20,000 are being used. I thought this was an anomaly that was happening at Georgia Southern University, but when we had a auxiliary services meeting with the Georgia schools a couple of weeks ago, they were all reporting that they were seeing similar problems. And I've heard from my VP that many other schools are experiencing a similar problem with this. So I'm assuming that part of this is due to people, our online classes, but still having so many people here on campus. It is quite surprising to me to see that so much of our traffic has gone down. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Janet.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janet Rauhe from Elon University. Going to tell you a little bit about Elon first, and then I will get into article ordering at Elon. Next slide, Richard. Our main campus is located in Elon, North Carolina, central North Carolina. We're about 3 hours from the coast and 2 hours from the mountains. We have it all here. It's our internet here. We're having some issues. So anyway, as you can see from my slides, we still have 3 locations remaining. I'm not sure that they are going to go live with those 3 locations. I think that was a decision that our dining services will have to make eventually, but I think it's not going to be busy enough for them to do those. Okay, Richard, next slide. As you can see, since August 20th, we have had 3,500 users. We're thrilled with those numbers at this point. We have about 3,900 students on meal plans, so we are thrilled to have this. As you can see at the bottom, as Richard was talking about, we have 90% and 97% iOS versus 3% on Android. We are very pleased with the reporting. Dining Services is very pleased with it. So that is one of the best things to come out of this. Okay, next one, Richard. So I just did, since we're so new to this, I did last week, or our last meal plan week of September 30th to October 6th. We had 4,700 transactions in that week. It is just amazing to me how many students are using this. Faculty and staff are starting to love it now, and we are just seeing more and more. We've been very, very pleased with it so far. Next. This is some of our locations that we have. As you Flat Out, Biscuitville, and Qdoba are three of the highest numbers for those. Flat Out and Biscuitville were in that initial location that we were trying to keep lines down. So this has helped tremendously. One thing that did become a problem in the very beginning is where they had their pickup for the mobile orders, and they've had to adjust a little bit because they couldn't have so many people within that location. So they've had to adjust that a little bit, but so far that's worked. We've been very pleased with these numbers, and they just seem to keep increasing. Saturday, as everyone can see, just not a big day for mobile ordering. Who knows what they're doing? Okay, next. So some challenges that we faced, Transact offered the dashboard training very early in the project. And at that point, we didn't know what that meant really. So we went through the training and did not really understand what would be needed for that in the long run. Menu training, we needed that earlier. We had some dining staff change during this project. They were working on menus and then all of a sudden they left. That was not the best thing. So we needed some menu training for everyone in the beginning on getting this set up. One other thing, dining made a change late in the project on how we were going to accept meal plans. Thank goodness for Transact. They were able to help us. They dedicated someone to us right in the middle of all of these projects for them. And they were able to help us and help us figure out how we were going to handle meal plans and meal exchange, I guess you could say, and cash equivalencies with this. But they were able to help us, and it's working great. One other challenge that I don't have on this, but we realized that there was going to be a lot more for our technician to do than we had originally planned, with setting up the tablets and just, wiring and different things for all of the new locations. So that was a challenge for us in the beginning. Okay, Richard. So this is Carrie Ryan is our Director of Auxiliary Services. I'm not going to read this to you guys, but just one of the things that was an added convenience for our campus community. When COVID hit and we knew that we were going to be bringing the students back in the fall, we had to figure out what we could do to try to help alleviate some of these lines. It has been a great thing for everyone. One thing I did notice that, and it says that she mentions it may even have individuals trying other locations or items because they don't have to wait in line. Students are going to different places that they had never been to before just because they can order online from those places. So auxiliary services, our president's using it, other people are using it. So it's a good thing. It's been a good thing. Okay, Richard. This is just a couple of pictures of some of our setups where they're picking up the orders. It's funny to see how each location handles it separately. Some of them want to, talk to the student themselves, making sure that they're getting the right person. Others just at Biscuitville, they set the bags out with the names. They know the students are going to come up, scan their QR code, pick up their bag, and they're gone. So, but it's worked well. It's been good for everyone with a few adjustments. Okay. Okay, Richard. Okay, I guess we can take questions now. And I apologize for my audio, guys.
So there's a question here that says, is anyone doing mobile ordering? If anyone is doing mobile ordering, are you also offering delivery? If so, what does your delivery model look like? Staffing, transportation, etc.
We are not doing delivery at this point.
Our delivery is being done by Starship right now. So I don't know, we have 25, 30 robots on campus. And I'll mention that 2 of them have passed and due to accidents, and it wasn't COVID related. And the thing that was shocking about it is they named the robots LaShawn, Marcus, and they actually had a funeral for him and over 100 people showed up.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have a question. Are you guys using your tablets wired or wireless?
Wired.
We are using ours wired. We made that decision just for the stability.
Okay. And has anybody tried it with in a wireless environment?
That would be a no.
Got it.
There's a question here that says, what happened? I believe this is for Janet. What happened if customers fail to scan the barcode when picking up? How do you know if it is completed?
If they know that the way that they're handling it at this point, if they see that it has gone, the food is gone, then they can go in and check it in, that it has been picked up.
Very good.
One thing that we have found is that the students were trying to pick up for each other. So they would take a picture of the other QR code and try to bring that in and pick up food for their friend. So we had to stop that. We said, you want to give them your phone, they can do that, but no pictures, that's not going to work.
Dave Holbach is requesting, what is your #1 tip or suggestion from each of you, or what I wish I knew when we started?
Well, for me, I mean, because we had Topingo here, I mean, we were pretty used to it. So, I mean, there was just a matter of transitioning to the new hardware. One of the things that Janet mentioned is more training for the retail location. So we have an IT person who does most of the setup on that. But I think that we could have had more training for those retail operators, and that might have helped a little bit.
I agree, exactly. I think if we could, I don't think we realized the extent of the menu setup and what was going to need to take place with that. And I wish we would have had more training built into our project when we started, but it was something that just had to be done. So we had to make it happen.
How about somebody with dining reservations? Have they turned theirs on?
We have not.
We have not. It's something I wanted to mention because it was an interesting feature that was brought in due to COVID. But
Right.
we had, by the time it became available, we had already made plans on how we were going to handle in-person dining, how they were going to come and get their food.
Anthony from California University of Pennsylvania is asking, he's seen a lot of comments on the listserv about performance issues, orders not getting routed, etc. Has that affected either of you?
Not for us. It's been pretty stable. You know, Thomas, our tech, has to go out every now and then with the kitchen printers, but it has been very stable for us.
On the whole, no, it hasn't been bad at all. There were some issues initially, but you know, when I was talking to Starbucks yesterday, they haven't had any complaints in a while.
Other questions? We'll say last call for questions. Oh, here's one. Lacey is asking, are you using it for anything other than dining?
not at this point for us.
We are not either, but you know, I have heard presentations on mobile ordering where they have used it at bookstores, and it's been a very, very successful program for them.
Bill McGee is thanking you for a great job.
Thank you, Bill McGee.
Thanks, and hi, Bill. I haven't seen you in quite a while. The Georgia boy.
Any last questions for our presenters today? Going, gone. Well, thank you, Richard and Janet, for joining us today and for sharing your campus experiences about mobile ordering. We appreciate your knowledge and your information. The NACU webinar schedule is posted online, so please check it out at nacu.org. Special thanks again to my guests, Richard Wynn and Janet Rauhe, for their presentation. My name is Dawn Thomas. I'm with NACU. Thanks and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.